Alright chat, it seems just before starting to record this video, I was attacked by a giant spider, so it's clear that they don't want the truth coming out. They've already tried to invade my home and try to take me out, but I have succeeded by getting the wife to go and kill the spider, because there's no way in hell I'm going to actually go and do that. But it seems that the Sony fans, the ponies, have been lying all along, and it looks like Sony has not only been deceiving its own fans, but everyone else. It seems that their whole, connotation of them selling so many amount of units by the end of last year has been a total fabricated lie, and now people are going on the notion that this is just a VGC charts. But of course we've actually seen the proof, and it's not just VGC, everyone is reporting this, they're all getting it from the same source. But it does seem that the 54 million, or 55 as they'd like to say, million units sold by the end of last year has been totally fabricated, which means what is the actual number of units sold? Well, it turns out that by the end of 2023, that number is in fact 50 million. Now, this is actually quite significant. Why is that? Well, that's why you need to continue watching. Just hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that bell to stay up to date with all content I release. So, with the shameless plug out the way to skillfully put into place, and of course, you're going to help me get to that 7,000 subs, right? We are moving on to the next point, which is the fact that Xbox has sold, as of the end of last year, 27 million units. Now, why is this significant, you're going to say? PlayStation is still miles ahead. We're talking 23 million units. Well, PlayStation has got 50 million units with the EU, America, and the East, right? The Far East. We're talking the three major regions are contributing to PlayStation to hit that 50 million. Now, Europe, for the most case for Xbox, is a lost cause. We've been seeing that year on year. There is no investment there, there is no marketing there, there is no advertising there. And when we're looking at the NPD charts, it's abysmal when you look at how many units are being sold in Europe. And it's no better in the Far East. So essentially, that 27 million by majority is coming from the US. Now that is significant. The fact that Xbox now, statistically, is less than a 2-to-1 ratio. I know you're seeing all these 10-to-1 in Europe and all of that, but those are cherry picking a region. If you're looking at it globally, Microsoft is actually at a less than 2-to-1 ratio. If they actually gave a damn about Europe, and I know the Far East is still, a thorn in their side because they still haven't penetrated that market, but there are games coming that they really need to jump on, like that Azure game that's pretty much like a Pal World game but aimed at the anime audience, the Genshin audience, the Honkai Star Rail audience, that really would appeal to that Eastern audience. That's what they should be going for and trying to capitalize on with exclusive contracts. But that aside, that's what they need to do in that market. They need to kind of focus a little bit more and just try to get those contracts. But with Europe, that used to be a really stronghold for them, and over the years, whether it's because of the CMA or whatever, they've kind of just pushed it back and just dropped the ball there, and they've only just focused on the USA. Now, if they actually bothered focusing in Europe and gained another, say, 10-15 million units there, we're looking at, almost 40 million units at that point, right? 40 million to 50, that's a lot more of a healthy competition. So my question is, why isn't Xbox doing anything about Europe? Why aren't they being more aggressive, pushing Game Pass, considering people in Europe don't even know what Game Pass is? This difference, I know it's only a 5 million console difference that Sony lied about, because now they're actually counting consoles shipped as consoles sold because they've got their money from their suppliers. But that's not how this works. It's 50 million units sold, 55 million shipped. I mean, Microsoft could turn around and say, well, we've got 35 million shipped. It doesn't paint the right picture, right? Because that's deceiving your audience. Why do they always lie? I don't know, but this seems to be the motto when it comes to PlayStation. And now this sheds some really cool light on actually how the market is. Now, of course, Sony is still ahead by 23 million units. But with the news that a handheld unit is coming, and we've already seen JayGaming talking about the handheld market and how it's important for Xbox to have a native handheld console. And where will a handheld device do best? Europe? America? Or the Far East? We've seen how successful the Switch is over there. It sells buckets, and as long as it's priced correctly, the Series handheld could actually be Microsoft's gateway into the Far East, because they do, you know, game on the go a lot. It's one of the selling points of the Nintendo Switch. So trying to tap into that market is actually a really smart strategic move. If they then turn around and make it like a hybrid console where it has a Windows application on there with the Xbox OS built into it as well, so you can run PC Game Pass on there, so you can get the best versions of those games pending the hardware being capable of running that PC version of the game, it could even propel it even more. So what I'm saying here is, it's not doom and gloom. We're looking at the future of Xbox. 2024 is by far the best year Xbox has going for it, from a number of third-party titles coming to the platform to a plethora of first party. We're getting Diablo 4 coming in on the 28th, we've got Avowed, we've got Hellblade coming in just under 2 months, we've got Indiana Jones, we've got Call of Duty coming day one to Game Pass. So there is a lot of stuff that's coming to the platform. Now I get it, we keep saying the same thing, it's coming, but you know, at some point they have to arrive, right? Now it's disappointing, I'll agree, that the first quarter of the year has been pretty dry for Xbox. It has. You know, we've had our Persona, we've had the Power World, but we've not had any real, you know, first party cadence from Xbox, and we kind of needed at least something stellar blockbustery coming out during that first quarter window, and it didn't happen. Hopefully from the second quarter onwards that will rectify. We know that there's 10 games coming to Xbox, coming from first party studios, whether they're full games or expansions. These are all titles that will be filling up the remainder of the year. So the last 3 quarters of the year should be blockbuster filled. Everyone saying that Xbox is going out of business, Xbox is going away, is delusional. And we can clearly see here that Sony has been lying, twisting the narrative, pushing their agenda to try and deceive not only their community, but the audience as well, as to how many units they sold, to try and keep that 2-to-1 ratio, because 27 times 2 is 54. You can see why they were pushing that narrative now, because they like to see that 2-to-1. But at the end of the day, it's no longer 2-to-1, and it's up to Microsoft to turn around and try and change that narrative. The only thing we can do is continue to support the platform we love, to play the games that we enjoy, and continue pushing forward. But now the ball is in Microsoft's hands. I've heard at the end of April we're supposed to get some news. Whether that materializes or not, who knows? I mean, I don't even know what it is. That's literally all I've heard. The summer showcase that's going to be here is going to be a really, really big time for Microsoft. I'm hoping they actually showcase the handheld device there that JayGaming has been talking about and others have been talking about, and even Sarah Bond has indicated to during the business update. There is a lot going on here with Xbox, and it seems to finally be coming into place. It finally seems to be, you know, all fixing in. Now I see people saying, well, Xbox isn't a focus for them anymore. All they care about is being third party. That is not the case. If they are releasing hardware, the Xbox platform is still their focus. Now, it's no secret that hype for Xbox around the community, around Twitter, has drizzled down to an absolute minimum. But for me, there is still a future, and the consoles are a primary aspect of that, because the consoles themselves having a successful future mean third-party games don't skip Xbox, and that is what we want to see not happen. We want to see the biggest games coming over to Xbox as well, so everyone can enjoy them. So, as far as I can see, Sony has lied their way continuously, and their lies have been exposed. Xbox has a bright future, starting with Diablo 4 coming to Game Pass on the 28th of March. Then we've got Hellblade 2, which I believe comes out on the 21st of May. These are big titles, and from that point on, we should be seeing a really good cadence of releases all the way till the end of the year. We've got the summer showcase that's coming, which should reveal even more great games and have teasers for what's to come in the following year. Hopefully we'll see another Halo, which we know is in development. We'll see, we'll get an update to Gears, Perfect Dark, and among other games. So here is to a bright future for Xbox. People saying that they're out for the count clearly have no idea what they're talking about. The future for Xbox is bright, and as far as I'm concerned, whether it's the handheld or the next generation console that's coming, because we do now know that a new XDK for Xbox has been registered in South Korea, which means that there is new hardware, 100% confirmed, in the works. That's already been finalized or semi-finalized in terms of specs. So it's probably the handheld more than anything else, but I for one am super excited for where this is going. There are still questions to be asked and there are still discussions to be had, but at the end of the day, what Sony has done in lying to their community, lying to the audience, in trying to sugarcoat their actual console sales is beyond pitiful. And if you have to do that just to be able to gain a market position, that's sad. That is really, really sad. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Am I being delusional? Do you find it comical that Sony had to lie and say that they have 55 million consoles sold when it's actually 55 million shipped and only 50 million sold? Do you find that amusing, funny, comical, ridiculous? Let me know in the comment section below. Are you excited for the next wave of Xbox games coming? Starting with Diablo 4 coming to Game Pass. If you've not played it, it's got a really good campaign. If you have played it, are you going to dive back into it? Or Hellblade 2, are you excited for that? Are you excited for the ongoing games that are going to come along with it? Indiana Jones, Towerborn, Call of Duty, all of these, day one on Game Pass. How does that make you feel about Xbox? And of course, the news of the hardware, it's coming. There's no hiding it now. The floodgates have opened, everyone knows about it, it's just a matter of time before we actually get to see it. Thanks so much for watching, let me know what your thoughts are. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit that bell to stay up to date with all content I release, and I will see you in the next one. Remain legend.